You're gay. Hello and welcome back, Ravers. It is season 5, episode 14 of Gay Rave, and I am the Gabby L. We have so much to talk about. First of all, I'm in Chicago. You might be wondering, bitch, where are you? And to that I say, oh, girl, I don't fucking know. Okay, I'm always somewhere in this bitch. A lot has happened though. Let's start with last week. So last week, first of all, bingo, amazing. The Knicks, incredible. That night that I had bingo was the Knicks game, obviously, one of them. All right. And I was a little tired from the drinking and the screaming at bingo. So Mara and I went home to finish the game at home. We were down by like 20 points. So we thought it was safe to go home. Little did we know, the Knicks would come back from a 29-point deficit to win that day. Incredible, obviously. Then their following game was Saturday, which obviously we all know how that ends. It was incredible. Not only did the Knicks win on Saturday, it was also Brooklyn Pride. So we were already out and hammered and just happy to be there. It was beautiful. Okay. After bingo on Wednesday, I went home to Hartford the following morning because I had to be in the office for something, to do something with the interns. And I'm just sitting there like pretty hungover, just trying to instill my wisdom in them as, rising seniors in college. I'm going around the horn, there's 6 of them, there's like one of me. And 2 of them went to Brown. One of them went to Yale, another to Cornell, and then a couple like UConn here and there. I'm just sitting there like, recession indicator. Like, I know why I'm here, but why are you here? I'm scared. Was nobody else hiring? What's the deal? Okay. This is for HR also. Something's a little suspicious there. Okay. But thank God I came back to my special place, got back to Brooklyn. My first Brooklyn Pride living in the area. That was wonderful to be able to just walk home. Well, I wasn't really walking so much as I was sort of like lumbering threateningly through the streets. That's more of what I was doing. Okay. Brooklyn Pride, so cute, so fun, so fucking hot, you guys. Like, and not in like a sexual way, in like the temperature. You ever have somebody look at you dead in your face and go, you look hot, but they do not mean on a scale of 1 to 10. They mean degrees. They mean you are physically sweating so much. This heat wave has been breaking my spirit. I'm not going to lie. It's early in the summer. It's early. It has me dreaming about wearing a layer, just a sweater or something. Just any one layer. It's been having me think about it. And even being in Chicago right now, I like caught a chill and it brought a smile to my face, bitch. I don't know. So Brooklyn Pride was amazing. Going to Raver, Amelia's house, watching the game all together. I swear to God, watching the Knicks win in a room filled with 30 lesbians, a gay, a straight man, like, was euphoric. I wish I could bottle that feeling. It was so beautiful. Like, as soon as the game ended, we're all like, we have to get out of here right now. We all have to go. We have to hit the streets. Cars are honking. People are out. Like, we're all screaming. There's kids on people's like necks and backs. It's like amazing, right? So I like take my little cowboy boots. I like bring them outside. I put them on. I start like full sprinting down the street for some reason. I am not in a good place at this point, okay? I'm full sprinting down the street, essentially leaving everyone I know. I'm surprised I didn't get drafted. I mean, for something. I mean, the Jets, tight end for the Giants, tight end for the Jets or something. I don't know. They got to be looking for someone. Someone in these streets was like, wait a damn minute. A blur runs by. Okay. So I was so thrilled. We are so happy that the Knicks won the series versus the San Antonio Spurs. I just think they deserve it. I think they're good men. And it's never been a worse time to need a Jalen Brunson jersey. Like, I have been looking for Knicks merch in this town for weeks. In that town, New York, for weeks. Everything's $150, as it should, and I'm happy for them. But I'm like, okay, do I get the Jalen Brunson jersey? Do I go Karl Anthony Towns? Do I go OG? Josh Hart? Like, there's so many ways I could go. So I'm going to wait for the hype to die down a little. I know that's kind of like fucked up, but then I'm going to be hitting my websites, and I am going to be getting Knicks merch, okay? I cannot be caught lacking again. This is fucking ridiculous, okay? So it was beautiful to be a part of the community. Just go down to like fucking Fifth Ave and just be screaming in the streets. There was a marching band there. I think they were residual from Brooklyn Pride, but still, everyone, instruments out, ready to rock. Like having the Frank Sinatra on deck. Like I didn't see any sheet music. Okay. They were kind of just ripping it raw. All right. Like jazz, but doing the real notes, like with a real song. Okay. That was amazing. The people yearn for community. The people yearn for the celebration and the unity of this event. It was amazing. Also, just side note, let's give Mom Donnie this stray compliment. Generational run king. You're doing a great job. The World Cup also started last week, and it's been going well. I feel from an operational standpoint, I haven't heard many complaints other than the general congestion. There's also like this passport you can get to like visit different neighborhoods, and like they have a meal deal. You can like pay $24 for a meal, and you get a passport to go visit different neighborhoods and to be able to watch the games in different places. Like so brilliant, so beautiful. There's like collectible items. There's these New York jerseys that they're dropping. I just think that the man can't fucking miss. Although he was hosting a Pride event. It was like a Pride / World Cup event at Gracie Mansion. And he was seen wearing shorts and a soccer jersey. That's some of the worst PR I've seen him get of late. And that's saying something since he doesn't get much bad PR. But to wear a suit 100% of the time and then suddenly I'm seeing your knees. Scary. And I'm not shaming by any means. I'm just saying, like, I just think he's been running for mayor for several years and maybe he hasn't been hitting leg day, but that's not my problem. Okay. I have nothing to say about that. I've just seen his knees now, and that's just what's happening. Okay. So that was last week. Also, on the way home from Brooklyn Pride, as I said, I was full sprinting. We were all just like riding that high. And then I like, stumble home, literally and figuratively, walk in the door, get myself there, obviously, with all of my belongings. Very impressive. But then I like make it halfway up the second stairwell, the stairwell that I am at the top of that landing, okay? Make it halfway up the second stairwell, miss a step, fall down the stairs, okay? And it's like, I want to say 1:30 in the morning at this point. I'm like really banging on those stairs falling down. Like it was not subtle or dainty in any way, okay? And so I'm then laying on the ground for a moment, just sort of like thinking about the consequences of my actions. And also, in another way, waiting to see if someone comes out of their door to check on me. I'm like, that was no less than a commotion. All right. And not a soul is opening their door or being like, you good? Like, not a word. So when you say, living in New York, living in a building full of people, like most of the time that makes me feel safe because I never feel like I'm truly alone. Someone's always around in case of an emergency. This could have been an emergency and not a soul, bitch. Not a fucking soul. I have a big ass welt on the back of my head, this big ass bruise on my hand, my arms, just like general pain. All right. Not my best and brightest. Okay, not my best and brightest. But also, what the fuck, you guys? Get out of your homes. Ask me if I'm good. I laid there for like at least a minute just looking at people's fucking doormats being like, anybody? Any movement? Nope, just me and these rats. That's it. Okay, fine. So this week I'm in Chicago, okay, and I have yet to fix my suitcase. Every time I go on a trip, I take my fuck ass Amazon Go suitcase, okay, with the broken handle. The handle goes up, the handle does not go down. So every time I'm in the privacy of my own home, I have to sort of smash it until it goes down. I was walking through the airport today like an old-timey business person, like carrying my suitcase by the handle on its side. What fucking year is it, okay? So I'm carrying the suitcase by the handle on its side because once that handle's in, it cannot come out. Like I need to get it on the plane and stow it away. And then, once I get off the plane, I could pop that handle up. Okay. Just for a brief period until my next byway. All right. So I get off the plane. I'm row fucking 36. I'm in the way back. Okay. I get my suitcase. I'm like, yay, I can finally use the handle. Great. I get into my Uber and the guy pops the trunk and he like goes to get out to help me. And he sees me putting in my luggage with the handle out. And he's like, ma'am, you should close the handle. And I was like, sir, do you think if I could close the handle, I wouldn't? Like, I've already closed it. You think I'm just like a woman who's just like forgot, or like is incapable of like closing her own like fucking handle? I'm lifting it with my big strong arms right now. into this sedan. Please leave me alone. Okay. I just cannot. Oh God, context clues. And then I was like, it's broken. Obviously. It set us out on a very awkward journey. But nonetheless, I'm here for work, but I do get to luckily see Raver Line and Raver Marcus. We're going to a Liberty game, Liberty versus Sky, on Wednesday. I'm so excited. And then I am home, and Thursday night, oh God, I hope the Knicks parade is not on Thursday, even though I already know it is because Mom Donnie said it was. So Knicks parade is going to be on Thursday. I am going to miss it, I think, because I get home pretty late that night. Friday, Juneteenth. Very exciting. There's a Liberty game, so we can celebrate. And we can also celebrate because Usher just released a new song. I would like to say it's to honor Juneteenth. Usher just released a new song with The Dream, and it's called Tampa. Okay? And it's actually low-key good. Like, I wish I could be talking my shit. I know I can't cancel Usher. I know that he said that Diddy wasn't a bad guy, but I'm not ready to throw him away. Right? The bathwater or whatever they call it. Throw the baby. You know, you could put that together. It's like a DIY analogy. Okay. You got it. All right. So they just dropped the song. And The Dream, when he dropped Falsetto 20 years ago, that went triple platinum in my household. Even in high school, we were ripping Falsetto in the hallway. Like, that was a formative experience. And he came back with this. And it's not like my favorite song. Didn't even download it. Haven't listened to it more than once, but it starts with them going, P Killer. Hell yeah. That is the new nickname in the streets and the sheets. P Killer. What if I'm G Killer? Okay, wait, no. P is important. Okay, the P is important. I can't change the P. Obviously, it's not P Killer because anyone's name is P. This is The Dream and Usher. We know what they're talking about. Okay. I just laughed because it's called Tampa. Like, once again, recession indicator. We're not even in Miami anymore. We're priced out of Miami. She's not even from Miami. She's from Tampa. Okay. Another recession indicator. May I have you? Okay. We're going to get into a few of those today, actually. So things coming up after Juneteenth when we listen to Tampa and go to the Liberty game. This Saturday is the Pitch a Single Friend, my first ever event I'm doing at Blazers, the first time ever doing this event. Very excited for that. And then Sunday is another queer trivia. And then we're fucking back at it again, bitch, a new week. And the actual Pride Week is a week from today. I am so scared. Hold on to your dicks. Okay. Moving on. Something amazing that happened this week, and I got no less than 6 messages about this, direct messages. Okay. How much of my personality is wrapped up into Five Below to receive 6 direct messages? This is like when the Pope died. When the Pope died, I got approximately 10 messages from people being like, the Pope is dead, the Pope is dead, the Pope is dead. I'm like, yes, news. This, I mean, approximately 60% of the importance of the Pope's death was Cardi B figuring out what Five Below is and being excited about it. She was posting on Instagram like, damn, I brought my kids here. It is amazing. They really have everything. This store, I used to think it was a dollar store. I used to think it was like a Dollar General. This is way better than that. They got really nice shit here. My girl found out about Five Below. So excited. She's like, this is a great store for kids. And I'm just sitting there like, I have given a prize to at least every gay in Bushwick by now from there. Okay. I buy 90% of my household items there. I'm not even lying. I have never walked out empty handed. Okay. And those Bushwick lesbians are loving it. Okay. So all of us and Cardi B's children, Five Below fans. All right. I knew my girl would have taste. I knew that she would love that place. I knew if Cardi B could just come to some of the places that we love, that she would love them. And if it starts with Five Below, great. But think what could come next. Think if we could get to show Cardi B Cherry Grove. She would love it. I just feel like she would just capture the energy, you know? But fine, moving on. Speaking of recession indicators, oh my God. The yearly competition, Twinks versus Dolls tickets, just dropped. Okay. So this has been, I want to say it's actually their 7th year that they're doing this competition. We all know what Twinks are. They are very slender gay men, many times. I think the definition is expanded, but that's what we call them. Little 60s skinny gay men's, okay, Twinks. And then versus the Dolls, which are trans women traditionally. There's a competition every year. It used to be at a place called Singers. So yes, it used to be at Singers. So it used to just be like in a bar, and they've gotten a lot of shit in the past, right? Like last year, I think it was supposed to start at noon, and it ended up starting at like 5 o'clock p.m. because there was some sort of like medical emergency. So this year, they dropped the tickets to Twinks versus Dolls, and it's like multi competitions, right? So they do, I think the most famous one is the cigarette race, like who can finish a pack of cigarettes faster, a group of Twinks versus a group of dolls. I think it's fucking hilarious just watching everyone smoke cigarettes as fast as they can. So fucking funny. There's also like, I've always wanted to see the nacho cheese wrestling. I think that sounds amazing as well. So this year, they posted the flyer that it's moving from Singers to Times Square. It's moving to the Palladium in Times Square. And the minimum ticket price is $50. The maximum ticket price is like $75. And that's not including any fees. Okay. So much change is taking place. So they're moving the event from Brooklyn and they're raising the price, and people are like up in arms about it. And they're like, yo, this is for gay and trans people. Like, this is too expensive. That's crazy. And the people who run it, like, we know, like, this is run by trans people top to bottom. We know that if we want the event to not, start 5 hours late or to have medical emergencies, and we want the logistics to be better, we're going to have to charge more money. Like, if we want a better venue, we're going to have to charge more money. And we know the issues of the past. We know them very well. The actual quote is actually quite funny. The idea that we haven't gone over everything that went wrong last year 1,000 times and done our best to learn, grow, and mitigate these issues just because we haven't posted in a long Instagram square post is completely unfounded. Unfortunately, when you do things in a legitimate way, it costs more than a DIY warehouse. Ooh, but it's air conditioned now, you guys. I don't know how they're going to do this with the smoking indoors, and they better not be dropping the cigarette race. I feel like that is sort of like the crown jewel. You really can't do that. So yeah, the people on the Instagram post were like very mad at the move, saying like, first of all, moving it from Brooklyn to Manhattan itself is like holding Bushwick Pride in Chelsea. Like, it makes the vibe different. And I see where they're coming from, but Times Square is like kind of gay. So I hear it though. The vibes in Manhattan versus Brooklyn are quite different. I can attest, okay? And they're saying how it costs so much money and it's more money than it's ever been in the past. And they said that with fees and everything, the minimum ticket price is actually the same as it was last year. And tickets to go to any Pride event are like so expensive, like minimum $50 during June anyway. So like, it's actually competitively priced with other events, which I can also attest to. Having bought tickets to many Pride events, whether I made it out or not, they are quite expensive. And this year, I actually have no tickets to Pride events, which is crazy. Maybe this is 32, or maybe I'm just late and they're all sold out. I honestly couldn't tell you. Okay. But nonetheless, the Twinks versus Dolls tickets being $70 and in Manhattan, crazy. Times are a changing. We are moving up, people. It sounds sickening. I would love to see it. Is it appropriate to go? If it is, I would absolutely throw $80 at that task. Okay. Lock in, ravers. We got to go. Let's move to rave reviews. I have one this week, and I'm going to shout out Hayley Kiyoko, lesbian pop star, okay? Lesbian pop star before being a lesbian pop star was sort of cool, okay? Has had hits. If you want to touch ya, touch ya, touch ya, touch ya, touch ya, touch ya, I'm just curious. That's like the hit, like the big hit. But in 2015, she also had a hit called Girls Like Girls. And that was like a big thing at the time. Very creative, very amazing. And she's also engaged to one of the hottest women that's ever been on The Bachelor. And I say The Bachelor because she was a contestant, okay? Yes, she was a contestant on a Bachelor season. And I was always obsessed with her. She was so hot. Her name is Becca Tilley. I remember watching it in my living room with Ginge in Virginia, being like, that girl in the leather shorts is so fucking hot. And it was Becca. And I wasn't a lesbian at the time, and neither was she. And that's why I know we have a connection. Okay? Girls do like girls. So Hayley Kiyoko is coming out with a movie called Girls Like Girls. Okay? It's coming out on June 19th. Coming out. Pun. And it's based on this book that she wrote in 2023, which is based on the song that she released in 2015. So same thing. It's just about like young queer people. Here's the synopsis. Based on the writer-director Hayley Kiyoko's hit single and best-selling novel of the same name and featuring all new music from Kiyoko, Girls Like Girls is a heartfelt coming-of-age story set over the course of one sun-drenched summer where a new girl in town, Coley, falls in love for the first time while learning to accept herself along the way. I'm hooked, okay? It's about youth. It's about coming of age. It's about coming out. I just imagine tears, okay? Yeah, sure, it's corny. It's about kids, okay? And Zach Braff is in it. What the fuck is up with that? Zach Braff, what are you doing here? What are you doing here, Ariana? I am glad there's representation out there, and I hope young queers see it. It sounds really wonderful. Like, it couldn't just be me listening to Same Love by Macklemore over and over, sobbing, hoping that one day gay people get rights, right? It couldn't just be me. Shout out to my friends who had to listen to that song on repeat before I knew that I had ADHD and song repetition just really helped my brain. Okay. Moving on to grave reviews, I want to talk really quick about this conflict that's going on between Patagonia, the brand, and the drag queen Patagonia. Okay, just really quick, because it is a grave review, because it's shit that this is happening, all right? So Patagonia is a drag queen and climate activist who you might have seen on Instagram, like a very famous activist. One time did a 100-mile hike in drag in California, raised like $1 million for climate activism or for nonprofits run by people of color who do like climate activism. Incredible. Okay. And so she's been doing this under this name since like 2018 or 2019, I think, the Patagonia name, for years. And then when she started to get a lot of traction, her and the brand Patagonia had like a sit down meeting in like 2022. Okay. Because apparently there was like fan art or something that was circulating that was using the Patagonia's like logo or coloring or branding. And so they reached out and brought her in for a meeting. And apparently there was some deal that they came to, whether it was in writing or not, that's unclear. Okay. But they came to that deal where she wouldn't use their likeness or logo for any like merch or apparel. And I think that was the deal that they came to at the time, and that worked. But more recently, in 2025, Patagonia was trying to register her name as a trademark. And she's saying this comes on the heels of other drag queens having to go through litigation or even losing their drag names because people are suing them, or it's a trademark or some sort of like infringement case elsewhere. So she wanted to get ahead of that. She's seen it happen with like Lexi Love going through these issues and potentially losing their names. She doesn't want that to happen to her. She says that's why she wanted to create the trademark, which seems understandable. Patagonia obviously knew this was happening, and they are suing her for $1 and asking her to drop her trademark application. There's like a couple of asks that they have. So she was quiet for a little while trying to deal with it, but now she's sort of taking it to the internet. She's making it really public and saying that a large corporation like Patagonia, who is also committed to climate activism, is trying to silence her, which I see where she's coming from, right? Like, they have the funds to sue her and to do this. And while they are suing her for $1, they're essentially saying, like, quit using our name, or maybe your name potentially, right? So she took to the internet and she made like a front-facing camera video saying like, this could end me and my staff and the great activism we do, because we would have to be paying for this lawsuit, which is not either of our goals. Like, why are you trying to silence a climate activist? And this is where my question comes in. Like, Patagonia is claiming copyright infringement, and I think the 3 terms of the agreement were like, 1, Patagonia dropped the trademark, 2, don't use any of their trademarked items or logos or anything like that. And then 3 is like no selling merch, I think. But if it does include changing her name or not being able to use the Patagonia name, might be worth the fight, you know? And it's just confusing to me, the copyright infringement piece, because we can think of other drag queens like Trixie Mattel, like Jan Sport. Jan Sport actually had a collab with Jan Sport. So I'm like, why can't Patagonia just sort of like make this work to her benefit? That seems fucked. And her point is like, why can't we just come to an agreement? She's saying ultimately, like, she was named after the region of Patagonia, and that it's not close enough, and that she's never made merch using their like logo or likeness. It was fans who made those things, and that like she doesn't like deserve to be sued, essentially. And so she took the internet and said, I'm willing to drop the trademark if you drop the lawsuit, but apparently that's not enough anymore. So that's the situation that they are in. And ultimately, I just think that it's shit no matter what. Like, I am sad for her, and I'm hoping that she doesn't have to go down fighting. But we all have to make decisions about like what's worth it. And if it is trying to, you know, take away the name and the branding that she created and the career that she's created and the great activism that she's doing, like, maybe it is worth fighting, but I don't know. You'd have to be an insider to know all the ins and outs of it. It's just like disappointing in general that like they couldn't just use their mutual strengths to come to sort of agreement here. I feel like there would be low hanging fruit, but fine. I guess what they were saying, or what Patagonia was claiming, is that it was like violating the terms from their 2022 conversation. Like in 2022, she agreed to not do X, Y, and Z, and filing for the trademark violated that. And that's why they're doing this. But here's hoping they come to an agreement, or maybe even here's hoping in another world that this is all for PR and it ends and they kiss and make up and everything's great. Okay. That would be the dream. But I don't know if we're in a dream world yet. Okay. Moving on, can I say something? So I started watching Love Island yesterday. I was pretty much binging it. I bought tickets to this pool party called High Tide, and I was going to go with Rachel. And then I was like, wait, no, have you heard of sleeping and resting? That was necessary. So I started watching Love Island, and I really just feel like I'm getting the impression that we hate everything. Like, does anyone ever get the impression, like, as a society, I think we've really moved into a place where we hate AI, right? And we hate fake, dumb shit and slop. We do hate things that are like clearly falsified and not real and not human. But we also have come to this place where like human flaws are sort of like met with such a lower tolerance now. We want people to be genuine, but when they are flawed or exhibit things that are imperfect, we don't have a lot of tolerance for that. So I feel like that really limits like our capacity for like connection and understanding. And I know you're probably thinking like, how is this stemming from the Love Island conversation? But it really did. Like I was thinking about like the standards for the people that we meet are different probably than they were, but it is important that we have some of them. But in a way, like the acquaintances or the people that we know and talk to who are amicable with, like they are very likely flawed people. And if you had to swipe left or right on every person in your life, like would you swipe right on them, friend or lover or partner or whatever, right? Like if I met every person I know on an app, I'd be swiping left on some people just because of like the facts in front of me. Like seeing people on paper is so different than having that connection in real life. And I feel like convenience society has made everyone so distant from the reality that people are flawed. And like whether they tell you or not, or whether it's like overt or covert, like people are flawed. And that is just how it is. Like if I met my exes via dating app or I saw them there, like there's no way that we would have both swiped right on each other and ended up dating. Like, but being in person and like connecting with people and having chemistry and like doing those things, like that's the reason we figured that out. Like that's the reason we got together. It never would have happened otherwise, because I mean, one of them a couple exes ago, he was a problematic bitch, you know? There was no way that was ever, no other world it was ever going to happen unless I like got to know her and ended up like being really endeared to her. But that being said, I think about this all the time. Like with Love Island, they don't really know going into it. I don't think they get the cast before they're already flown to Fiji, and they don't know like someone's tweets or their opinions or anything before you go. You just read the vibes, then give each other a tongue bath, you know? And I think that's so beautiful. And I think that nature is healing. But it also concerns me that these 23-year-olds like want to buy a house. And I've heard the term like white picket fence multiple times. Like, mama, you better hope one of these boys is a contractor. I don't think these models or these e-boys are going to be getting you a house in this economy. Recession indicator, okay? And I think the reason young people want partnership or they want to find that person so they can start their family, it's just like you want to control that variable in your life. Like I want to figure this thing out so that way I can do all these other things. Like if I figure out the partner part, then I can get to do all the fun things that I want to do, but with this person. Like I just want to find the person first. And I think we all want that. We all want to define this variable so we can start moving on and enjoy the benefits of knowing. But in the end, like we never truly know. Humans are unpredictable and we are too. Like might as well not waste your time waiting and try to control some of the other variables in the meantime. Like once you feel you have a good handle on your life or like your career, your personal life, your hobbies, your health, like these parts that don't involve the partner, like once you've controlled those things, you have a handle on them. And if that partner thing is still outstanding, like you do start to kind of get the itch. You're like, oh, but then things change again, you know? I talked about this in therapy last week too. Like I was saying how, you know, once I get a real handle on my health or like have a really consistent way of managing my health or like my fitness, that's when I will be happier. Like, it will be good for my mental health. It'll be good for my physical health. It'll make me feel more confident. It will be blah, 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 XYZ. She's like, have you ever tried just accepting where you are now and like being happy in the meantime? And I was like, well, I guess, like, yes, I guess. And that's the hardest part for me. I have trouble accepting where I am now and like what my body is like now, what it feels like, and what it looks like. But I'm really trying. Like, I'm not gonna let this body stop me from like having a nice and fun time and like feeling hot and cool and sexy. I feel like that is huge for me. I'm like excited about that. So I was excited to tell you all about that. Moving on to my I'm sorry for the week. My I'm sorry is to all of you for the amount of posting I'm about to be doing. Like, I am about to be fucking in your phones, bitch, on your grid, begging you to come to my shit. Okay? So just do that. All right? Don't make me get my hands on knees. Like, please come and have a nice time. Okay? I'm trying new things. I'm putting myself out there like The Secret. And it's going to be fun and it's going to be good. And let's just have a nice time. Okay? I'm begging you, please. Don't make me be more embarrassing than this. All right? Moving on to, last but not least, songs of the week. I have been, and I would like to blame fucking Love Island. Soundtrack is incredible, but 12 to 12 by Somber is what I've been listening to. It's been my ADHD song in the past couple days. I think he's like really tall and scary and kind of reminds me of Slenderman, but I don't really have to look at him. I really like the song. Okay, so that's going to be one of them. The other one is We Both Reach for the Gun, Chicago, the movie soundtrack. Before bingo last week, I was playing this as the warm-up as people were walking in, and I was like, is this like turning people off, like turning people away, potentially? And they're like, no, like put your flair on it. And I was like, no, I want to be dead. Okay. But personally, I have been playing it. I have been playing it. I have been playing it. That Chicago soundtrack does not quit. There's not one single skip. There's not a miss. All right. The gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. Okay. So just trust me on that one. All right. Everyone, have an amazing week. Let's go, Knicks. I will miss you, but I will see you next week. And I can't wait for all the fun things we have to do. It's going to be fucking sickening. Okay, bitch. Pride week, 1 week. Get some rest, drink some water because you're going to fucking need it. Because you're going to be out at all my shit, drinking, having a nice time, hooking up, doing whatever I tell you to do. Okay? And it's going to be weird. So until next time, this has been Gay Rave. I am the Gabby L, and the L is for, say it with me, love you. Bye.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.